What is up guys, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're covering r/Tales from Tech Support. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe that notification bell. And don't forget to click the bell and click always, because otherwise YouTube will pick and choose when they show you my notifications. And with that being said, let's get straight into the stories. Much love guys. Our first story is from Shadow13499. Mom, put down the crowbar. I'm a software engineer now, but many years ago, while I was still in school, I used to work in tech support at a pretty busy store. I'm usually at the front of house, but one day I had to man the phones for a couple of hours. It was going pretty well at first. People would often call and ask about our tech support plans, or ask if we can fix my insert device here. Near the end of my shift, I got a call from this lady who was having difficulty opening her laptop. Before I could ask her any questions, she started screaming at me about the things she'd tried. She said she tried to muscle it open, then tried to use a pen to pry it open, and the nail file. Then she said she just tried to use a crowbar and it bent the plastic on her laptop. After that revelation, she just stopped talking and I could feel her entitled ass stare like, "Hello, you're supposed to fix this for me." Anyway, I asked her, "Can you describe what you're looking at?" She said, "I'm looking at a laptop." In retrospect, it was really my fault for underestimating her stupidity. I said, "Can you describe the side of the laptop you're trying to open?" She goes, "I'm looking at two clasps on either side of the laptop." At this point, I finally realised she's trying to open it from the back of the laptop. This full-grown woman decided to try opening the laptop with a damn crowbar before turning it 180 degrees. Once I realised this, I said, "Mom, can you try turn it round and open it from the other side?" She yelled back at me, "That was the back of the laptop and that won't work." Yeah, okay lady, you obviously know better than I do. Get your crowbar out. I sucked it up and as politely as possible I said, "Just give it a try." She says fine, and literally 30 seconds later she goes, "Oh my god, it worked!" And then click, the line goes dead. I'm hoping she realised exactly how stupid she had been and felt so embarrassed that she hung up. I have a ton of stories like this, so if you want more, let me know. There was no way she was embarrassed, that is just stupidity in its finest. She just hung up because she's entitled. And that's it. Our next story is from Silencer Nate. That's not what a virus is, lady. I've worked in telecommunications industry for several years now. I work in a specialised part of tech on a small team where we deal with the issues that Tier 1 and Tier 2 can't solve. I have more than a few stories I'll start sharing here. This story is from about 3 or 4 years ago, so some of the quotes might not be 100% accurate, but it's close enough to get the point across. Tier 2 transfers a call over telling me that customer claims to have a virus on the phone and does not want a replacement sent out. iPhone 6s if I recall correctly. Okay, transfer over. Customer comes on the line, we'll call her Mabel. "Hello, I need you to fix my phone, it has a virus on it." "Okay Mabel, I can fix just about anything and will not be transferring you today. Explain what the phone is doing." "The phone has little red bumps on the screen and parts on the sides." I'm sorry, what? Like polka dots? Is it uniform all over or random?" She says random. At this point, I look over the notes from the previous 2 agents. The troubleshooting completed was minimal. Factory reset hadn't been completed, and after asking Mabel, she seemed more concerned about the phone than any repetitive troubleshooting. Thankfully, she's calling from an alternate phone currently. "Mabel, are you able to use the phone, like make a phone call, send a text or open an app?" "I think so, but I'd rather not." "Okay, why is that? Can you call say a friend or a family member? I'd like to test what parts of the phone are not working correctly." "If I have to, but let me get some gloves." Before I can ask what she means, she puts down the phone. Keep this in mind as it's important to know later. She comes back a few minutes later and says, "I don't want to infect my sister's phone. Can you provide a phone number that is safe to call?" I'm speechless at this point. It dawns on me that she believes this phone virus is spreading by calling someone, as if someone with the flu sneezes on someone. "Mabel, phone viruses cannot spread by making or receiving a phone call. I assure you, she has no risk of being infected." "Are you 100% sure?" At this point, my sarcasm gets the best of me and I can't help myself. "I assure you there is no risk. Business name uses the best network in the industry and our cables use electronic disinfectants. When you make a call, it kills any viruses." I know, I'm a bad person for saying that, but I couldn't help myself. "Okay, well that's why I have business name. Let me try calling my sister." She calls, it connects, she's on speakerphone. and says she is making a test call and will call back later. Okay, so these polka dots on the phone, this is the only problem, right? She says yes. Okay Mabel, do me a favour and turn off the phone. She complies. I give it a minute to shut down. Are the polka dots gone now? Mabel says, nope, they're still there. They are all red, almost like a pink colour. Bumps on the phone. Now I'm confused. I assume she turned off the screen, but did not shut down the phone. Mabel, are you sure you shut down the phone? Like, the Apple logo shows up on the screen and is completely turned off, right? She swears it's shut down. This is getting much longer than I expected, so I skip the next 10 minutes to ensure the phone is shut down, and the additional 15 minutes figuring out that Mabel thinks this is a biological virus on the phone, thus the latex gloves mentioned earlier. I spend probably another 10 minutes trying to assure her that's impossible, which she does not believe. She has a daughter who's a nurse and knows these things, she tells me. She also refused to have a replacement phone sent out. Tier 2 attempted to do that, but she doesn't want to lose her contacts/pictures and doesn't trust connecting it to a computer for backup. I get an idea from her red bumps comment earlier. Mabel, can you set the phone down flat on a table and look at it from the side? Are the bumps on the screen visible? Yes, the bumps are on the screen, but I can't see the bumps from this side. Do you want me to turn around the phone to see those? It's now been a good hour and a half, and I've about given up on this. I have no idea what the problem is. I decided to start from scratch and cover every possible thing. I ask her to remove the SIM card and read the SIM card number to me. After she removes it, she can't read the small numbers, so she calls for her grandson to read it off. He comes into the room, grabs the phone, to which Mabel goes, grandson's name, "Don't touch that, it has a virus, put it down now!" The grandson apparently isn't the best behaved child, and this saves my sanity. He snatches at one of the polka dots on the screen, and Mabel freaks out. "Don't touch anything, don't move, I'm going to get the hydrogen peroxide." Seconds later she comes back, and the grandson asks why there is dots on the phone. She washes them up, and reads off the SIM card number. As the grandson is on the line now, I ask him, "What did you scratch off the phone?" The grandson answers, "I don't know, it looks like paint." Mabel gets back on the line, and I almost feel foolish for asking, but I can't help. "Have you done any painting recently, Mabel?" "It's odd you asked that. We actually just got done painting a nursery for my great-granddaughter." You know that moment you can't do anything but... This was that moment. I spend the next 10 minutes trying to get Mabel to scratch off the paint, which finally does, and we fix the phone. Oh god. Mabel, you crazy old bird. Our next story is from Jammy Dodger 79. Tale from a Tech Guru. About 6 or 7 years ago, I worked for an Irish telecoms provider as in-store consumer tech support. Think Apple Genius but across all mobile operating systems. I'm in the shop one Saturday afternoon, and this quite irate gentleman comes into the store and starts screaming at the two girls working retail. We had breached his privacy, destroyed his marriage, and he was going to sue everyone involved individually as well as the company. Guy was being quite intimidating and loud, so I came from my cave and took over the interaction. After listening to him scream a little more about us costing him his marriage, I get him to explain what his actual problem was, and why he believed our company was at fault. The story goes like this. Guy is a big Angry Birds gamer, and unfortunately his handset had died. He was bored and wanted to play, so he took his wife's phone, same model, and now she has his text messages with his side piece and has thrown him out of the house. He thinks we somehow mixed up his SIM with his wife's, and now she's getting all his SMS and messages. I explained that's not how SIMs work, and our network didn't allow for two SIMs to be active to the same number. He again flips out and says after he's finished here, he's heading to our head office to see us all fired. To try and figure out what's been going on, I ask if I can have a look at his handset, honestly expecting an Android with root and some kind of spyware. Anyway, he pulls out a Nokia 610 on Windows operating system, and then a penny drops for me. I asked him when he used his wife's phone, did he use her Windows login or his? He said his, of course. He wanted to be sure he tracked his Angry Birds progress and she didn't have it installed. So I asked him if he read the pop-ups before he clicked accept. Angry Guy says, "Who reads those? All I wanted was a quick game of Angry Birds." I then explained to him that on Windows operating system, when you sign into an account, that all messages were shared and replicated across all devices. That as such, when he signed into his wife's phone and didn't sign out, that he allowed his message to be seen by her and it wasn't a network or technical issue. He flips out again and said if he knew that playing Angry Birds was going to get him this far in a crapper, he would never have clicked past the OK. He really didn't appreciate it when I told him that on the bright side, now he had at least 2 Angry Birds to worry about. Wife and girlfriend. as I walked him out of the store. Well, dude, you're going to play the dirty, you're going to get caught at some point, so... But angry birds breaking up marriages. Our next story is from Podgorama. Angry person believes they are special. In a previous life I worked for an MSP. One of the clients was an offshoot of a bigger client who are a household name, but the offshoot company were nothing special. The household name had an IT guy who was great. He had been in the industry for years, really knew his stuff, nothing fazed him, and he was polite. Because of this, he skipped the first line. If he was calling in, it was serious, and he would have done way more than our first line and most of the second line could do to troubleshoot. He had earned that right. He had most of the field engineers' mobile numbers, but rarely used them, but we always answered for him. The guy at the little offshoot company thought that he also had this privilege, as he had worked at the household name for years. He did not have years of industry experience, and he would make some really stupid decisions, like demand that all users have admin rights. He learned this lesson the hard way, after most of his company's computers had to be wiped repeatedly because users were being stupid. He would talk to you as if he were your direct boss, calling you at any time regardless of where you were, and just saying, "What are you doing right now? I need you to do this ASAP." I was working on a project with 2 other engineers for a different client. We're on a conference call to a supplier when my mobile starts ringing. I notice it's the angry man from little offshoot company and let it go to voicemail. Then the phone of engineer number 2 starts ringing. It's angry man again. He lets it go to voicemail. Then engineer number 3 has the same. Angry man has been told numerous times it's alright to call us directly if we are engaged on a project for you, but if a standard support call, go through the proper path and log it at the office. Within 10 minutes of him attempting to call all 3 of us, we had the managing director of our company addressing the help desk team next door to our conference call. I just had a little angry man from small offshoot company on the phone. He's quite angry that nobody in the company is responding to him and feels that the service we are giving him is really poor. I excused myself from the call to grab the director and play him back the voicemail left by little angry man. He's got a new user starting in 3 days and wants them set up ASAP. I point out that what has happened is that little angry man wants to skip the help desk. He's gone against the terms of our support agreement, tried to contact 3 senior members of staff directly for something that is a first line task, and has thrown his toys out of the pram because he doesn't get that he can't call senior engineers whenever he wants and get them to drop everything just for him. Apparently, the follow-up phone call from our director to him outlining our service terms and conditions was quite amusing. As with the majority of these stories, there's always an entitled person involved somewhere who thinks they're above everyone and they can just do whatever they like, and it's always nice when they just get shot down, especially when they're getting terms and conditions read to them. Jesus. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you did, you know what to do. Click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell, and click always, of course, as it really helps this channel out. I know I say it all the time, but your interaction on this channel, your watch time, you clicking like, you commenting, it really, really does help this channel out, and I can't express that enough. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Much love, guys.